Controversy continues over the cuts that are being made to the federal government under the Trump-Musk revolution in government spending. What's amazing about this is, again, how many people on the left seem to think it's a winning argument to argue in favor of waste, fraud, and abuse. Poll data show that Americans do not like waste in government. The latest polling that I saw from Gallup about these broad issues shows 56% of Americans believe that a huge percentage of government spending is, in fact, waste and abuse. In fact, according to the Gallup poll from this November, just after the election, 55% of Americans believe the government is doing too much. Only 41% believe the government needs to do more. When it comes to the waste inherent in government, most Americans, in fact, the vast majority of Americans, want government made more efficient. Americans' views of the federal government, 26% positive, 58% negative, are second from the bottom of all 25 industries tested. The only industry that is less popular than the federal government is the pharmaceutical industry. A Pew Research poll in April showed that 56% of U.S. adults, this would be April 2024, agreed the government is almost always wasteful and inefficient. 58% of Americans were dissatisfied with the size and power of the federal government. And so what Trump is doing here, and it's quite smart, is he's singling out bad, wasteful, abusive projects, and he is making those the tip of the spear in a broader attack on the size and scope of the federal government. And what's amazing is the Democrats are falling right into it. They're claiming there is no waste, fraud, or abuse. So, for example, yesterday, a Democratic witness named Dylan Hetler-Gaudet testified before Congress, suggesting that he could not see widespread abuse or fraud in the government. He's the director of government affairs at an NGO called the Project on Government Oversight, which, again, is another one of these ridiculous left-wing front groups funded by George Soros. Project on Government Oversight, but they don't do any government oversight, and apparently the government's doing an amazing job, according to Mr. Hetler-Gaudet.
Waste is different from fraud. Fraud is different from abuse, and abuse is different from both. When we talk about improper payments, they are a subset of those other three categories. But that doesn't tell us the whole picture either. Sometimes improper payments are a function of bad record keeping. Sometimes they are a function of outdated information technology systems. Sometimes they come about through human error, and sometimes they come about through negligence. There are a variety of reasons why improper payments happen. It just simply is not the case that improper payments are only a function of bad people doing bad things with bad intent.
Well, I mean, it's not a matter of bad people doing bad things with bad intent. Whether you intend to waste our money or whether you're just wasting our money is irrelevant to the taxpayer whose money is wasted. President Trump, for his part, again, this is going to be a popular case with the American people. He says, of course there's lots of fraud. Have you seen the size of our federal government?
You should talk about widespread fraud and abuse.
Oh, yeah, tremendous fraud. There's tremendous fraud, and it's hard to believe that you can have that kind of fraud. You're talking about, like, are you talking about what? Wait. Which are you talking? You're talking about with regard to all of the investigations that are going on about this stupidity. What we're going to do is tomorrow I'm having a news conference. I'm going to read to you some of the names that hundreds of millions and even billions of dollars have been given to. And if you tell me that we should be giving money to those things, those entities, I think you'll probably have to leave as a reporter because you're not very talented. When you look at the kind of money, billions and billions of dollars being thrown away illegally, and there's no chance. I mean, I say it in front of our Attorney General, there's no chance that there's not kickbacks or something going on. When you give millions and millions of dollars to somebody that stands to look at something for 15 minutes and walks away with millions of dollars, that money's coming back in some form. And that's only one form of corruption.
What does the future hold for business? Ask 9 experts, you'll get 10 answers. Bull market, bear market, inflation, up or down. Can someone please invent a crystal ball already? Well, until then, over 38,000 businesses have found a way to future-proof their operations with NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud ERP. Imagine having your accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR all seamlessly integrated into one fluid platform. That's NetSuite. With this unified business management suite, you're not just juggling numbers, you're wielding a powerful tool that gives you the visibility and control to make quick, informed decisions. It's like having a map in a maze of market uncertainties. Real-time insights, forecasting, check. It's like peering into the future with actionable data right at your fingertips. And here's a game changer. You'll be closing your books in days, not weeks. That means less time drowning in paperwork, more time focusing on what truly matters, steering your business toward success. At the Daily Wire, we're proud to partner with NetSuite because they're leading the way in future-proofing operations for businesses around the world. Whether your company is earning millions or even hundreds of millions of dollars, NetSuite adapts to your needs, helping you respond to immediate challenges and seize your biggest opportunities. Speaking of opportunity, download the CFO's Guide to AI and Machine Learning at netsuite.com/Shapiro. The guide is free to you at netsuite.com/Shapiro. That's netsuite.com/Shapiro. Now, what is different about what Trump is doing than what Republicans have historically done is that by unleashing Elon Musk, who's an outsider, and aiming at the technological systems that actually generate the payments, by aiming at the actual machinery of government rather than sort of overall policy, and those are two separate things. When it comes to the bureaucracy, there's the overall policy. Very, very difficult to shape the overall policy without touching the machinery. The machinery is the thing that keeps printing the money and sending the money, and it keeps going no matter what. And you can question the policy, but if you don't actually change the machinery underneath the hood of the car, you're just changing the paint of the car. And the machine continues to move in the same direction. The engine continues to churn. Trump, by unleashing Musk, who is a systems guy, is looking into the technological systems of distribution. He's looking into the employment systems. He's actually looking under the hood of the car of the federal government. And it's ugly what he is finding. Joe Lonsdale, who's an expert at this, he's the founding partner of 8VC, which is a major venture capital firm, one of the founding partners of Palantir. He talked on CNBC about what is different that Elon is doing from historically what Republicans have done.
I have mentors in the Reagan administration who came in looking for these things, and those people were not technical. And so when they went to the bureaucracy and they asked questions, there's so many ways of obscuring and blocking and deterring. And so what Elon did is he got root access and he went to the tech systems themselves. No one has done this in ever. No president ever has had tech people around him. And they went to the systems and they started finding things like, oh my goodness. And these people who work for the agencies try to confront them and say, no, you can't look at the systems. You can't. You're getting around all of our ability to block all this stuff. We thought you'd never actually get to see any of this. And they're freaking out because they're looking. And so it's very transparent. They went to the systems. They actually saw the payments, and the payments were going out to crazy.
I mean, this is the point. And this is why everybody in Democrat land is so panicked. Because nobody's actually taken a look at the systems before. Republicans have pledged they're going to cut waste, fraud, and abuse. But Trump is just unleashing people into departments that he is the head of, right? He's the president. They all work under him. And he is saying, I want you to go and screw with the systems. If you have to break the system, break it. And then we'll fix the parts that we need to fix. But put sand in the gears. Stop the machine. Stop the machine dead. And that is what Elon has been doing. And it's now pervading it throughout every branch of government. Lee Zeldin, the EPA administrator, who was a guest on our program just last week, he said, listen, I've been trying to identify waste, fraud, and abuse with the help of DOJ, and we're finding it.
Shockingly, roughly $20 billion of your tax dollars were parked at an outside financial institution by the Biden EPA. This scheme was the first of its kind in EPA history, and it was purposefully designed to obligate all of the money in a rush job with reduced oversight. EPA needs to reassume responsibility for all of these funds. We will review every penny that has gone out the door. I will be referring this matter to the Inspector General's office, and will work with the Justice Department as well.
Again, is this stuff going to be unpopular with Americans? I'm hard-pressed to see precisely how. Are you tired of the lies and the twist of the mainstream media talking points? Yeah, me too. Join me in my newest series, Fact, where I dismantle and bring truth to this tiring mainstream agenda.